now, guys, I'm here with you, season 5 of Game of Thrones, episode 6, Unbowed, Unbent, and Unbroken. Now, this episode, a lot of people didn't like, and I will get to it for some, after I give you the full-blown, review. So, starting in, oh my god, it's hot. So, starting in Bravos, wait, I'm gonna get it right. Yeah, Bravos. Yeah, I got it right. Bravos. Arya Stark continues her training with the face of men, washing the bodies of those that died in the... Why she gotta wash the bodies, though? Given the fact that Maisie Williams is still, underage, the bodies that she deals with, is that men, playing dead, or is that, dummies? I kind of wonder about that, Because, she hasn't reached 18 yet, Makes you wonder. Anyway, so she's training by washing bodies of those that died at the temple. So then she asks W, that's the girl. I told her to give these people nicknames. I'm not gonna try to pronounce their names anymore. It's like, screw it, I'm giving you all nicknames. So she asks W what they do with the bodies after they're clean, but W tells her that she's not ready, that she's not yet ready to know. Arya then asks how to pass the game of faces. W hints that in order to pass, she must be able to convincingly lie. When Jay comes in to test Arya again, she tells him how she came to join the Faces Men, but lies about several key facts. Jay is able to tell when Arya is lying, including when Arya claims that she hated Sandor Clegane. Jay tells Arya that she is lying not only for him but to herself and Lee. Sometime later, a man brings his sick daughter to the temple so that she can die at peace. Arya talks to the sickly girl and lies about how she was ill like her in the past. Arya then gives the girl the temple's poison water to end her suffering. After she cleans the body, Arya is taken by Jay to a chamber underneath the temple where the Faceless Men store the faces of all the people that have died in the temple. Jay tells Arya that she is not yet ready to become no one, but she is ready to become someone else. In Dorne, Tristan Martell and Marcella Baratheon walk free through the Water Gardens and make plans to marry one another, much to the concern of Tristan's father, Prince Doran. Meanwhile, Jaime Lannister and Bronn disguise themselves as Dornish guards and infiltrate the gardens. Bronn knocks out Tristan and Jaime moves to take Marcella, but they are ambushed by the Sand Snakes. Arya, Nymeria, and Ty. I'm calling the girl Ty. Screw it. Jaime and Bronn battle with them briefly before more Dornish guards led by Arya. It's almost like I want to say Oreo, like an Oreo cookie. Because, literally, you just change the A in the name to an O and it's Oreo cookie. Like, seriously. Now I want some Oreo. Anyway, they arrive and arrest both groups. Illyria Sand is also arrested for orchestrating the planned kidnapping. She did not think that was going to happen. Come on. These are your daughters. Obviously, they're doing this on your behalf. Across the narrow seas, Jorah Mormont and Tywin Lannister continue to make their way to Meereen on foot. Tywin tells Jorah how he is on the run from Westeros after killing his father Tywin, and also tells Jorah how his father Jorah Mormont was killed by Night's Watch mutineers during an expedition north of the Wall. Shortly afterwards, they are captured by slavers who plan to take the pair to Volantis for sale. After the leader of the slavers, Malco, mentions that Daenerys Targaryen has reopened the fighting pits in Meereen, Tywin convinces the slavers to take them to Meereen instead, as Jorah is an accomplished warrior and can earn the slaves more money in the pits. In King's Landing, Peter Baelish returns to King's Landing at Cersei Lannister's request. I said Cersei Lannister. I gave a whole new name. Where he is confronted by brother Lancel and a group of sparrows. Lancel warns Peter that the sparrows have purged King Landis of all vices, and they will not tolerate his prostitution business, though Peter is unperturbed. Peter then meets with Cersei, who has started to question where his loyalties lie. He assures her that he is loyal to the throne and informs her that Sansa is alive in Winterfell and that she is set to marry Ramsay Bolton. Cersei is infuriated at the Boltons' apparent treachery. Really? Because they married Sansa? Screw you! Nobody's gonna constantly kiss your ass, Cersei. Peter convinces her that he has already set up a plan to deal with the situation. He informs her of Stannis Baratheon's impending attack on the Boltons and asks to lead the Knights of the Vale to Winterfell to destroy whatever is left of the victor. In return, he asks to be named Warden of the North a condition Cersei agrees to. Oh, yeah, I forgot about this. Olenna Tyrell arrives at King's Landing in an effort to free Loras Tyrell from the Sparrow's custody. She warns Cersei that her actions have put the Lannister-Tyrell alliance in peril. Though Cersei insists that she had nothing to do with Loras' confinement and expresses confidence that there would not be enough evidence to convict him, at Loras' holy inquest, the High Sparrow interrogates both Loras and Marjorie Tyrell, and they both deny that Loras is homosexual. Olivia is then brought in and testifies against Loras, and also noting that Marjorie has seen them in bed together. After Loras, enraged, attempts to attack Olivia, I want to say Olivia, I shouldn't want to say Olivia. The High Sparrow is convinced that there is enough evidence to proceed with Loras' trial. He also orders Marjorie arrested as well for lying during the holy inquest. As Marjorie is taken away by that Sparrow, she calls for Tommen Baratheon to do something about it, but he is too intimidated by the presence of the faith militant to respond. Oh, poor baby. I kind of feel bad for him because he's like, I just became king and now all this shit is going down. Like, I feel bad for him. In Winterfell, while Miranda bathes Sansa Stark, she attempts to intimidate her by telling her about Ramsay, former mistress whom Ramsay later hunted and killed with his dog. Sansa boldly replies that she is not frightened. Later, Reek arrives to take Sansa to the Godswood, where she is then married to Ramsay. Afterwards, Ramsay takes her to his chamber and orders her to undress. When Reek tries to leave, Ramsay orders him to stay and watch and proceeds to rape Sansa. Now, in this episode, we got a few things that went down. We got the terrible fight of the Sand Snakes. Like, that fight scene was like the worst I think I've ever seen on TV. And I mean when I mean the worst I've seen, I'm talking about worse than like Power Rangers from the freaking 90s. And we all saw Power Rangers. Like, their fighting was like, yeah, cause it's awesome, guys. It was worse than the Power Rangers fight scene. Like, if you're worse than the Power Rangers, that means you're really bad to me. We got Arya, still in her little train, and then of course the big deal with this whole episode was the fact of with the marriage of Sansa to Ramsay Bolton, and the pretty much the honeymoon night, right? My thing is, one, this is Ramsay Bolton we're talking about. We should not be surprised in how he was going to deal with Sansa Stark. This should not really become a surprise. We watched this dude flay people alive. We watched him freaking torture Theon Greyjoy and cut off his penis. We really should not be surprised. Like, did people bitch about that? But they're gonna, like, seriously, Ramsay Bolton's character, I haven't read the books, but what I read from Wikipedia, this dude is sadistic, and he does rape a character in the book. It's just not Sansa. It's some girl impersonating Arya Stark. But the point is, he still raped somebody. It just happens to be Sansa Stark. And what made it worse is the fact that he forces Reek to watch. Now, in the book, from what I read on Wikipedia, in the book, he actually makes Reek participate in this rape scenario. So in the TV show, they did not do that. They just had him rape Sansa, which we do not see. We just hear the ripping of the dress and and Sansa's cries. That's literally all we hear, and we see Reek watching. So I'm gonna read this from Wikipedia. Is under production and writing. Says this episode was written by the series producer Brian Cogman, who has written at least one episode in every season of the show. It contains some content from George Martin's novel A Feast for Crows, chapters Arya 2, Cat of the Canal, Cersei 5, it's Cersei 10, and A Dance with Dragons, chapters The Ugly Little Girl, Tyrant 10, and The Prince of Winterfell. Though series consultant Elio Garcia described the portrayal of some of these events as vastly different from the original. Now, like other episodes in the season, it also included content and storylines written specifically for the television adaptation. Miles McNutt of AV Club points out that these changes the way the viewers interpret the showrunner's decisions. When describing his opinion on the decisions to show Sansa raped by Ramsay on their wedding night, a storyline given to a different character, Jean Poole, in the books, He compares the scene to a similar one between Daenerys and Drogo in season 1, which was consensual in the novels. While we could frame the shift events of Dany and Khal Drogo's wedding night in light of where we knew Dany's story was going, we have no idea what this does to Sansa's storyline. Most critics question the decision to show Sansa's rape on her wedding night, but as Business Insider pointed out, the book version of this scene was much, much worse. When Theon ordered graphically to participate in Jean's mistreatment. In an interview with Entertainment Weekly, show writer Brian Kaufman was asked about the decision to decrease the level of violence, responding, "Lord, no, 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 no. It's still a shared form of abuse that they have to endure, Sansa and Theon, but it's not the extreme torture and humiliation that scene in the book is. However, in other ways, the episode veers back to book canon, where Loras arrested suggested that the show was replacing Marjorie's alleged alliances with its homosexuality. Here, the show gradually builds Marjorie arrests for lying on her brother's behalf." So, that was pretty much everybody's big issue with this episode, was the whole rape sequence, the rape scene of outside the start. And my thing is, I've seen a lot of comments like, women don't need to be raped to put forth a storyline or whatever, whatever. My thing is, for me, I say it depends on. For me, it depends on where the story is going and the character herself and the time frame. What I've seen, what I've read about the Game of Thrones in on Wikipedia and the Game of Thrones wiki, that the Game of Thrones is literally European history. Well, not Europe. Yes, is Europe is actually events from various European history, just retold with with his own characters, and you play some fantasy into like the dragons and the magic and all that stuff. And last time I checked, this shit probably did happen to women in ancient times, where we still had, women of Europe had to wear dresses, and you had to get arranged marriages and stuff like that. I think because America, we have gotten used to this whole fantasy, this, like, I guess you say the Disney-like type fantasy, where a woman gets married and it's all beautiful and it's this happy ending, and then we get shows like Game of Thrones and Reign, which, granted, is fiction, not all of the crap is true, but it's based on shit that probably really would have happened during those time frames. Like Mary, episode 9, an act of war, she gets raped. Shit like that freaking happened to those women. Those women can call a freaking rape hotline. They can be like, "Oh, I got raped, I got raped, No, as a woman, they had to suck it the fuck up. For Sansa's situation, you're your husband. That's your husband. You're expected. That's what is literally expected of you. You know what I'm saying? You're expected to sleep with your husband. You're expected to consummate the marriage, whether you want to or not. You're expected to do it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Sansa is expected to consummate the marriage. Proof in the morning, when they go to her bed, when they go to the bed in the morning, to see that if they consummate a marriage, or for a woman had to be a virgin. That, and to make sure that any child she bears would actually belong to the man she married. There's plenty of reasons why these scenarios of rape is used in some of these TV shows or in our films. I haven't seen every film. And some, but for the case of Reign in this show, there's a reason, because shit like this happens. Same thing with all these torture scenes that I've seen in episodes of Game of Thrones. Like, you got people in the world who are literally a Ramsay Bolton. You have people like him who love to inflict pain on people. If they could, they probably would do what Ramsay did to Theon Greyjoy. I mean, and then we also have Ramsay literally hunt one of his lovers down with dogs, took them on her, and they chewed the woman to death. They ate her to death, mauled her to death. Like, seriously, we're gonna, I'm like, when people bitch about this one episode, I'm like, have you not seen the seasons 1 through 4 of Game of fucking Thrones? Do you know what the hell you're watching? Are you really shocked by this one scene that you have to freaking bitch about it on social media? Really? Seriously, season 1, we watched Ned Stark get beheaded. Khal Drogo and Daenerys freaking love scene of their honeymoon sequence. We watch Robb Stark, his men, his wife, his unborn child, and his mother get slaughtered at a freaking wedding. Okay. Are we really that surprised about what Ramsay Bolton freaking did to Sansa in this episode? No. No. Was it sad? Yes, but should we be surprised? Fuck no. Fuck no, we should not be surprised. Should not be surprised, so I don't know why everybody's like, oh my god, I can't believe that. You know what? It's like, oh my god. Anyway, this is all I really had to say. Like, really, when it comes to Game of Thrones, we should not be this freaking surprised, people. We should get used to it by now. It's the Game of Thrones. You win or you die. Play the game. Okay? So comment, rate, subscribe, and I'll see you guys a year from now for season 6 of Game of Thrones.